Hey guys, we're going to look at the 2.5 explore how much snow is on the ground. So a big snowstorm is passing through Baltimore. The height of snow on Jasper's driveway can be modeled by the equation y equals 5 plus 2/3 x, where y is the height in inches and x is the hours after midnight. How many hours of snow are on the ground at midnight? How do you know? For this example, x is going to be 0 because we are at 0 hours after midnight at midnight. And our equation is y equals 5 plus 2/3 x. We are going to plug in y equals 5 plus 2/3 times 0, and we get 5. So our point that we get from this is 0, 5. And that's important to remember that our answers are actually coordinates, and we want to label this inches. How many inches of snow are on the driveway at 3 a.m.? We still have y equals 5 plus 2/3 x, and our x value here is going to be 3 because 3 a.m. is 3 hours after midnight. Y equals 5 plus 2/3 times 3 is going to equal 7 inches. Our coordinate for this one is 3, 7. It's important that we get these coordinates because in the next question we have to graph, and we need coordinates to graph. So graph the relationship between the height of the snow and the time on the XY plane. So we said previously that X is the time after midnight, and our y-axis is the height of snow in inches. So height of snow in inches. And our 2 points that we are going to plot are 0, 5, and 3, 7. I got that from the previous question. So 0, 5 is here. 3, 7 is here. We have to connect this to have a graph. What is the slope of the line? What does this have to do with the snow on Jasper's driveway? To find the slope, we need to count. So we start here, and we move up 1, 2, and then we move right 1, 2, 3. So our slope is 2/3, but what does that mean? Snow increases by 2 inches every 3 hours. Okay, and make sure you remember that slope is change in y over change in x. So that's how I got my labels. Moving on down, where does this line cross the y-axis? What information does this tell you about the snow on Jasper's driveway? We can look at our graph and we see right here the line crosses the y-axis at 0, 5. This means at midnight, which is time 0, there is 5 inches of snow. How many inches of snow are there on the ground at 4 a.m.? So we still have our same equation, y equals 5 plus 2/3 x. In this case, x equals 4. Y equals 5 plus 2/3 times 4. And we get 7 2/3 inches. If you had it as a decimal, it'd be 7.6 repeating. Number 7, if there are 12 inches or more of snow on the ground at 6 a.m., school will get canceled. Should Jasper turn off his alarm? So we have y equals 5 plus 2/3 x. In this case, x equals 6 because it's 6 a.m. Y equals 5 plus 2/3 times 6. And when you put that in a calculator, you get 9 inches. Should Jasper turn off his alarm? No. And my reasoning would be 9 inches is less than 12 inches. So it's not going to get to that 12 inches. At what time will there be exactly 8 inches of snow on the ground? So height is y. So we know our y value is going to be 8 in our formula. So y equals 5 plus 2/3 x. 8 equals 5 plus 2/3 x. Subtract 5 on both sides. 3 equals 2/3 x. Multiply by 3/2 on both sides, and you should get 4.5 equals x. And you have to understand how to write that as time. So this is 4.5 hours after midnight. So 4:30 a.m. is when there would be 8 inches of snow on the ground. You could also use the graph to do this as well.